So the huge trend right now is maximalism aesthetic, and how this works in baby names is basically having a style statement so bold but one that you cannot help but admire. So think like Harry Styles on stage, not Bjork, dressed as a swan. My name is SJ, I am a YouTuber who loves baby names, so every single Monday I do a new baby name list for inspiration for all you parents to be. There are hundreds of themes, so do go ahead and subscribe to my channel and have a search through, and listen now for the ultimate maximalist name trends. So we absolutely have to get maximalist names and style right. It's all about having bold statements that maybe clashing prints, so names that's like lots of syllables, unusual sounds, great pairings, maybe longer names with a bit more to them and a really grand meaning. All of these names are quite low down the charts, so you're going to hear some new ones. I hope you'll fall in love with one, because I am really looking for that timeless style statement, not some weird shock factor of a name, because you have to love it and it has to be their name forever and one that they're kind of proud of and love. This first name is a crush of mine and it's totally unranked, and it's the name Ceridwen. Ceridwen. So it's kind of unusual, it's kind of jolting, but it is so beautiful. It is Welsh name. There's a lot of Welsh names on here, and it means poetry or song. So it's so perfect for this maximalist arty aesthetic. She was a white witch or a white goddess in folklore, and she was known as the goddess of poetry, inspiration, and of the cauldron of transfiguration. So a really magical name, one I absolutely love, and as I said, totally unranked. And I think because Winnie and that W sound, I think it's beautiful. Ceridwen, just so beautiful, like a little song in itself. And I think as Winnie's so popular, it really is an on-trend name, but that packs a bit more punch. Boys, I'm kind of easing you in, I think. It's the name Beauregard. Beauregard, so it means a beautiful view, and it's an old French surname, and surnames were derived from a place where you were, so this would have been a group of people who lived in a place with a beautiful view. Beauregard, I love it so much. It's very grand. Obviously Beau is really popular, so by lengthening it out you just have a really strong name. There were 3 baby Beauregards in 2011. Hi to those mums if you're back for another maximalist name, but there's none since then, and Beau's become so popular. I really think you could rock a little Beauregard. It's kind of trendy, it's very rock and roll. A lot of these names could sound quite upper class, but nowadays I reckon names can go anywhere, and this to me is a really cool choice. Girls, a name that I've seen on a few of your name lists lately, so this is a bit of one I'm going to get in trouble for. People are like, no, you said my favourite name, is the name Eulalia. Eulalia. So it's different again because it's the E and the U, and you don't see that often in names, but I thought you might all love it because the L sounds are so popular. Eulalia, and it means well spoken, and it sounds like that, doesn't it? It's very beautiful and lyrical. Eulalia. Do you love it? Do you think it's hard to say? I just think it is absolutely stunning, and it's totally unranked at the moment. So again, a super rare gem with a kind of maximalism vibe, but doesn't sound off the wall crazy. I loved the name for boys, Aldemar. Aldemar, it's gorgeous, isn't it? I love that M sound in the middle, and I love that it's so unusual. You sort of have to double take at it, but then you're like, exactly, this works. Somehow somebody's put this style together and they've nailed it. Aldemar. It's an old Germanic name, and it means noble or nobleman. A lot of German names mean that. There's a lot of wealthy names coming out of Germany. Aldemar. Germanic names are really on trend at the moment, and I just think it's got this good mix of being strong but being gentle with the mar at the end. Really cool one, isn't it? I was thinking, would Aldemar get called Aldi after the supermarket? And actually the supermarket Aldi doesn't come from Aldemar. It is the surname of the founder, and then DI was for discount. So no, little Aldemar. And then there is Aldi. That is a legitimate name, isn't there, the chef? But yeah, Aldemar. I love it. You could go Lamar. The girl's ancient Greek name Delphinia. Delphinia. It's totally unranked. It is so beautiful. I really love the nickname Delphi as well, which translates as dolphin, but it's from the old Greek place, the place of Delphi, which is a very exciting and interesting history with Delphi. So the ancient Greeks considered Delphi the centre of the world. So I think that's such a gorgeous meaning for a little baby that's going to be the centre of your world. So the myth goes that Zeus released 4 eagles to fly around the world, which they believed was flat, and their meeting place was this ancient city of Delphi, so it became like the centre of the world and a very sacred place. And I just think Delphinia is really beautiful. A lot of these names are like the little IA ending, which a lot of us really love, and I really think Delphinia is lovely. And another meaning of Delphi comes back as meaning womb as well, so I think it's just a really gorgeous, perfect, beautiful maximalist name. For boys, a name I bet you've heard of, and it's the name Lysander. So you may have heard of this from Midsummer Night's Dream, a Shakespeare name, and also one of Luna Lovegood's children was called Lysander in the sort of later books, so Harry Potter fans, Lysander. But it's a really unusual one, and it's a really good maximalist name that is being used. There were 7 babies named Lysander, so it's really hitting up the charts. I just think it's a really, really cool one. Again, the L sound is so popular. You can go Anders as a nickname, which is a Scandinavian name for Andrew. So it's got a lot going for it. It's well known, so people can say it. It's got a lot of history, and it means liberator, which is really nice as well, because it's got kind of really powerful meaning. But I think Lysander really is trendy. How about the Welsh name Anne Harrod? Did I do a good Welsh accent? I'm not as good as my sister's brilliant at a Welsh accent, Anne Harrod. It's a gorgeous name. I love it because Anne is so timeless, and then Harriet, and it's sort of like a combo of the two, Anne Harrod. It's not getting much use. There were 10 babies named Anne Harrod last year. That is all, and it means much loved. So a really gorgeous name, so unique and different. And I don't think you must have to have Welsh origin if you want to use the name. Obviously, it is lovely, and a lot of us have that Welsh origin somewhere back in the past. But Anne Harrod was King Arthur's legend. So she was the lover of Percival, who was one of the Knights of the Round Table. And that legend is just so whimsical, magical, maximalist to the max. Anne Harrod. I love the name. Do you love it? Would you reckon it's too complicated to read phonetically and say? But that's the joy of a maximalist name. It shouldn't be easy, it should be beautiful. I couldn't not do this list without the name Maximus. I was like, I know it's the most obvious one, and it's quite popular actually. There's 180 boys named Maximus. So obviously, because Max is such a well-worn nickname, and there's Maximilian as well, but I love Maximus. I think the S sounding really completes it, makes it much more wearable in a way. You would always could go by Maximus. It means greatest, so maximum, so perfect for this trend, of course. Bit of an obvious one, but it also might be one that you really like. For a maximalist girl name, I think this one ticks all the boxes, and it's the name Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia. So I feel this is familiar. So the Cassiopeia is a constellation name as well. So what's nice about it is it's formed by 5 bright stars that make that W. So if you have a W name in your family, or it's your 3rd child, or there's a connection with 5th, it's really lovely. And constellation names are really trendy. So Cassiopeia works so beautifully, and she can be Cassie, she can be Pia, which are 2 absolutely gorgeous names. So Cassiopeia, a lot of the constellations are from Greek mythology. So it's an old Greek one, but they were just so gorgeous, the Greek ones and the Welsh ones. Cassiopeia was a queen who was known for her unrivaled beauty, and I feel like the name is so beautiful, Cassiopeia. You wouldn't want to stop saying it. It's like saying ballerina. Like, these names should have something so stylish and beautiful about them. I think Cassiopeia really does. Can't believe Oleander has not yet ranked. It is such an amazing maximalist version of Oliver, which is now our 2nd most popular boy name in the UK, finally, after Noah. And it kind of melds the two perfectly together, Oleander. It is a nature name again, so it means kind of rose tree. So gorgeous, and I just think it is really stylish, trendy, hits so many of the name trends, but takes you much more unique, and it's got that long, dropping my phone, and it's long, which is really nice. A lot of us really like lots of syllables, and it makes the name much more maximalist, much more intricate. Oleander. It's much more you, is what I'm saying, Oleander, and it's totally unranked. That is a bit of a crime against name style. The name Atara, it means crown, and I loved it because it's shorter than the others if they're you don't love really long names, but it's unusual because it's got the H at the end, and it's really interesting when Atara, and they say it with a very strong T, Atara. So there are a few babies called Atara. There were 19 babies last year. So do you have a little Atara, or do you know it? It's really lovely. It's not too feminine, girly, frilly, but it's really stylish. And I think because again, Tara is such a well-known name, Zara, even Sarah, if you're honouring a Sarah, because it's got the R-A-H at the end, Atara, meaning crown, which is cool. Boys, again from the Old Testament, what about the name Zephaniah? Zephaniah. So this is how you say it. I love this name so much. Rare Hebrew names is such a vibe. There are 32 baby boys called Zephaniah last year. So it's quite tempting, as I sometimes do, to go Zephaniah, and I know I do that, but it's Zephaniah. I prefer it, Naya, at the end. I love that sound. It means God has hidden, and Zephaniah was a minor prophet in the Old Testament. So it's a really, really rare gem of a name. I think it perfectly fits with this maximalism name trend because of how long it is, Zephaniah, but really easy to say, not dissimilar to Stefan or Stephen. So I reckon you can get away with it really, really easily, Zephaniah. The name Amaryllis. Amaryllis is a rare flower name. It's so gorgeous, and it's got the most beautiful meaning because it means to sparkle or to shine. And I just think that it is so gorgeous. I would 100% list this, Amaryllis. It's so pretty. It's so lovely to say. I just want to keep saying it. Amaryllis. And you've got Amar as a nickname, which means lovable. Liss is a really pretty nickname, Amaryllis. Oh, it's so adorable, and it's totally unranked. So it's ancient Greek again, so she was again from Greek mythology, and she was this love-struck maiden. So really beautiful to have this old sort of name as well that's become a floral name, Amaryllis. And I think because it is a flower name, more people can say it and are familiar with it and would be like, wow, what a beautiful name. It's just so perfect to me. I can see a little girl called Amaryllis so easily, and she's nice. She's so friendly. She wears beautiful styled clothes. She's got her own vibe going for her, but she shines, she sparkles, she's open, you know? She's not kind of like off to the side. So I really love it. What would you say if you saw the birth announcement, Cerulean? Cerulean. I think this is a tiny bit out there, but it is a colour name. It's a rare colour name. Colour names are really popular. Indigo, onyx even, obsidian even, and cerulean really works for me because it's got such familiar name sound with the sa, the ru, and even Leon is a bit like Liam, which is really, really popular, cerulean. And what's nice is it's this sky blue, so it sometimes means like of the sky, so it's got real nature vibes. And who loves looking up at the blue sky? Is that the crazy thing about it? Anyway, Cerulean, I really like it. It hasn't been used for ages, but it does really work, and it's quite this majestic name, I think, with the bringing in the sky. It just feels huge and gorgeous, Cerulean. And I think the nickname Rue really works. So I think it's perfect for a maximalist name aesthetic if you were writing a character. Back to Harry Styles. I reckon Harry Styles' on-stage alter ego name, Cerulean. This is a really rare Spanish name that I found, Corisande. Corisande. Can you imagine what it means? Just have a think for a second before I tell you, Corisande. It means chorus singer. I love it. I've always wanted to be a chorus singer. I am a chorus singer. I only ever know the words to the chorus. Chorus singer. It's really lovely, and it's actually a vintage Spanish name. So it dates back from the 19th century. So it's been around for a while. So it's a real rare gem, Corisande. And it's unusual again because it's got that E at the end. It kind of brings you back up again, Corisande, but it's not dissimilar to like a Sandra, you know what I mean? It's got coral, sounds so usable, and that was kind of my checklist. But Corisande, chorus singer, again, really artsy, really whimsical. If you're like a singing family, a creative family, I think you can totally rock Corisande. So for boys, how about Aureliano? So Aurelia is really popular. Aureliano means golden as well. So maybe this is Harry Styles' on stage name, golden, Aureliano. I love it. I think that the names ending in O, we know they're super duper popular for boys, and why not? It's a very handsome ending, Aureliano, and these longer names are really in style. Could be Leo even at the end. It means gold. It's Italian, of course. I just think it is really on trend, and when we see things rising for girls, we can always look at the sort of boy version and vice versa. And I think Aureliano is a real rare rare gem that's actually unranked, which is crazy. So if you didn't know what you have, you could have Aurelio or Aureliano, depending if it's a boy or a girl. Just go with one name into the room. For girls, I loved Theodosia. For girls, I love Theodosia. I was like, am I saying this right? Because it's the sh at the end, not Theodosia. And it's kind of a hard one to say actually, but there were 3 babies, Theodosia, this year, and I really love it. I think again with Theodore, this is the flip. The Theodore's so popular for our boys at the moment, and Theodosia is really, really beautiful. Saint Theodosia of Constantinople. That would be a good name, Constantinople. I feel like it's been around a long time, but is really unranked still, Theodosia, and it's got that real cool vintageness going for it. Those names are coming back in, like Wilhelmina, those sort of more masculine for feminine names, Frederica. What's the one I'm really thinking of? Winifred, that's the one. So if you liked Winifred, Theodosia is not a million miles away from it and has the sort of glamour and the grandeur of a maximalism aesthetic as well. My last one for boys is the name Galileo. Now, a few videos ago, I was reacting to some of the names that you loved, and I said that Galileo is from the Bible. And everyone told me off. I know, it was something I said, Galileo. I think I was thinking of like a hymn, but so it means from Galilee, and it is the name of the Renaissance astronomer and mathematician. It's the astronomer Galileo. I think it works really perfectly as a name. It's a really strong one. It is so maximalist. It's got so much going for it. It's got the whole Bohemian Rhapsody behind it, really. That's what you think of straight away, Galileo. And again, that astronomical maximalist trend. So I really think it is such a trendy one. Would you list it? Absolutely. Last up, I've done a girl name because I love it. I actually think this could be for boy or girl. Its name is Serendipity. Just because it is so long, and I absolutely love the name Serendipity. Serendipity is like unexpected good fortune, and I love it so much. I really wish my daughter was called Serendipity. I just think it makes me happy. It's so pretty. It sounds like the word pretty. Seren is a really beautiful short name for it as well. It's very, very hippie is the only thing. So you kind of think about maximalism, not like that. But if you think about serendipity, if you went to a place called Serendipity, a bar in New York, everything's like super trendy, luxe 70s is the vibe I'm seeing in my head. It's trendy to the max. It's like free people, not I got this poncho last time I went to Goa. It's this kind of differentiation, if that makes any sense. But I absolutely love Serendipity so, so much, and I wanted to put it on this list, so I hope you enjoyed this maximalist name aesthetic list. If you did, please hit the like. Please let me know in the comments below names lists you would love to see next, and names you would add to this list. I love seeing your ideas below, so then it becomes like this ultimate playbook of maximalist names people below. If you would like minimalist names, I've done that, and I will add a couple of links to those below. And as I said, you can subscribe for endless name lists from me, and I'll see you very soon on my next video. Bye guys.